A dog can wake up many times during the night and still feel completely fine the next morning. It may open its eyes, listen for a moment, move its ears, adjust its body, and then return to sleep, as if nothing important happened. But you wake up once, just once, and your whole day feels heavy. Your body may feel slow, your mind may feel foggy, and even if you slept for many hours, something still feels unfinished. So what is actually happening here? Maybe the question is not only, why did you wake up? Maybe the deeper question is, what happens inside your mind after you wake up? You open your eyes in the middle of the night. Your body is still at rest. Your breathing is slow. Your room is quiet. The world outside has not changed. No danger appears. No one calls your name. Nothing urgent is happening. But inside, something has shifted. Your mind starts moving. Not strongly, not suddenly, not like a loud alarm. It begins quietly, almost unnoticeable, like a small balloon, slowly being filled with air. At first, it is only a tiny shift in attention, from rest to awareness, from quiet to noticing. You don't choose it, you don't even notice it at first, but once awareness returns, it can be difficult to ignore, not because the thought is important, but because it is there. And once something is there, the human mind often wants to know what it means. A memory appears, a question appears, a feeling appears. Maybe something from yesterday, maybe something from work, maybe a sentence someone said, maybe nothing clear at all, just a small feeling that something is not finished. And thinking doesn't always stay small. Now look at an animal. A dog does not sleep in one long, deep, perfect block. It sleeps lightly. It wakes up. It listens. It checks the room. It shifts its body. Then it goes back to sleep. No frustration, no analysis, no story about what just happened. It does not think, why did I wake up? It does not wonder, what does this mean? It does not turn the moment into a problem. It simply notices and lets the moment pass. A sound appears, the dog hears it. The sound disappears, and the dog returns to rest. Nothing is added, nothing is carried forward. The moment appears and disappears. In a simple way, that is how many animals live. They react to what is present. Then they return to the next moment. Now go back, before modern life, before walls, before electric light, before locked doors, before soft beds, before a safe and controlled environment. In ancient times, the night was not safe. Humans were not the strongest species, not the fastest, not the biggest. They could not always outrun danger. They could not always fight it. They could not always see what was coming. A small sound in the dark could mean something important. A movement in the distance could be a threat. The snap of a branch could wake the group. A shadow near the fire could matter. So, sleeping too deeply might not always be ideal. In some situations, it could even be dangerous for survival. The ancient brain learned something simple. Rest, but stay aware. Sleep, but don't fully disconnect. Stay quiet, but ready. This does not mean ancient humans never slept deeply. It only means that in a dangerous world, a brain that could wake easily might have had value. The body could rest, while part of the mind stayed alert. In that world, interrupted sleep was not always a failure. Sometimes it was part of staying alive. But modern life changed the outside world faster than the brain changed inside. Today, you may sleep in a safe room. There may be no predator outside, no cold wind, no dangerous shadow near the fire. But the ancient brain still carries old patterns. It can still wake up. It can still check. It can still become aware. The difference is what it checks now. Not the forest. Not the fire. Not the sound of animals in the dark. Now it checks memories, plans, messages, conversations, unfinished feelings. The danger outside is gone, but the mind can still search inside. There is a different kind of moment in your sleep. You are not fully awake, but not completely asleep either. It does not feel like clear thinking, not structured thoughts, not a complete memory, but fragments, small pieces that don't fully form. They appear and fade away. A face, a sound, a sentence, a feeling, a scene from the day. They don't stay long enough to be fully understood, but they don't disappear completely either. They pass through, leaving something behind. Not a full memory, but a trace. Not a full story, but a feeling. Something unfinished, something still open. And your mind notices that, even if you don't know exactly what it is. It doesn't need clarity to feel present. Sometimes a thought is not heavy at first. It becomes heavy when the mind begins to follow it. One small question becomes another question. One memory connects to another memory. One feeling starts looking for an explanation. And suddenly, you are not only awake, you are involved. You are inside a chain. Scientists have studied this active stage of sleep. It is often called REM sleep. REM stands for rapid eye movement. The name comes from how the eyes move quickly beneath closed eyelids during this stage. This stage was first described by researchers Eugene Azarinsky and Nathaniel Kleitman in the 1950s. They observed people while they were sleeping and noticed periods of rapid eye movement combined with high brain activity. During these moments, the brain becomes highly active, even though the body remains still. Later research, including the work of Matthew Walker, suggests that this stage may help the brain process experiences, connect memories, and reorganize emotional information. Not as a problem, not as a failure, but as part of a normal function. The brain does not fully stop at night. It shifts into a different kind of activity. It sorts, it connects, it reviews. It processes what was not completed during the day, and if you wake up during this time, you may notice it more clearly, not because the thought suddenly began, but because you became aware of something that may already have been moving. Animals wake up and return to rest. Humans wake up and sometimes carry something forward, not because something is wrong, but because the human brain can hold more information, more memory, more language, more connections, more unfinished pieces. A dog may wake up to a sound, and when the sound is gone, the moment is gone. But a human can wake up to silence and still create a whole inner world. A thought can become a story can become a feeling can become a reason to stay awake. The difference may not be in sleep itself, but in what follows after waking, what stays, what grows, what gets repeated. A small thought can remain small, or it can expand, not because it is important, but because attention gives it space. So maybe the feeling of being tired is not only about sleep. It may also be about what continues after you wake up. Like a sound in the night, it appears and disappears. And maybe rest is not always about sleeping more. Sometimes it is about adding less meaning, less explanation, less story, and a little less weight inside the mind. Thank you for spending this quiet moment with us. If this video resonated with you, feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. And if you'd like more calm, thoughtful stories like this, consider subscribing to the channel.